Hi, everyone. It's Monday morning, and I'm getting ready to go to work today and drop off my dog at daycare because I'm going to be on for most of the day, and he's going to get really restless. I wanted to give y'all a little reading update on my current book. It's The Shining by Stephen King. And I had read Stephen King before a long time ago, and I think I DNF'd it. I think it was a book about like a fire starter. And I didn't really vibe with that one. But I love The Shining, the movie, and I always watch it during the winter because it's a really atmospheric and cold for this season. And so I was like, I want to pick up the book and give Stephen King a try again. And I don't regret it. This is such a good book in ways that I didn't expect it to be. If I'm going off of the movie, they're very different in the sense that you get a lot more character development, character inner monologue from all of the family members. It's a really intense book, and not necessarily because of the haunted ghost creepiness sentience of the evil hotel, the Overlook, but more so the generational trauma, the breakdown of a family, abuse, the deterioration of a marriage, a real struggle with alcoholism. The dad, Jack, like in the movie, but much more in the book, struggles with alcoholism. Like you really get a sense of how much he struggles with it and how much it like his father did too. And it's something that once you read it, it's a little more generational, much more embedded than you expect. He's not as evil as you feel like he is in the movie. Like you really feel like the character in the movie is a little less trustworthy. This character is not necessarily trustworthy, but there's more struggle there. Also, there's a sense of autobiographicalness to it, because if you read about Stephen King during his earlier writing years, he struggled with alcoholism. And I think you're getting a sense of all that inner turmoil of his through Jack. And also, like, he was inspired to write The Shining when he and his wife stayed like one night at a kind of empty hotel. I don't know if they were closing for the season or not, like they were at the Overlook in the book, but it was empty, and he described having dinner in this almost vacant dining room with the chairs even on top of the tables. And he walked around the building. He started to get the bones of this story, of The Shining. And yeah, I'm kind of uncomfortable reading this, and not in a bad way. Like, I'm not like, I hate this book, uncomfortable. It's really gets to you, and the spooky, scary parts, like, are worsened, or not necessarily. The struggle of the characters in this book, especially, well, all of them actually, Wendy, all of them. Shout out Shelley Duvall. Love Shelley Duvall in the movie. Like, I just love her. Characters are haunted by their past. Like, Wendy and Jack have some serious parental issues, like stemming from their own parents, and they're haunted from that past. It's like they're still living with them. And that's sort of reflected in the hotel as well, like the way the hotel has time or different eras all living among, all sort of existing at the same time, and it being haunted in that way, or like the hotel having taken them into itself, and they are stuck there, sort of agents of the like evil sentient being that exists at the Overlook, or within the Overlook, or is the Overlook. And I'm like reaching the climax, like, that part. If you know, you know. I don't want to give y'all any spoilers, but The Shining is a pretty well-known story. And yeah, the setting is just, it's this almost like pressure cooker. That's kind of funny because Jack, the father, has to go in and adjust the boiler ever so often. That's his job as a caretaker during the off season, because if not, the hotel will explode and cease to exist. And in Doctor Sleep, you'll get a little more. Anyway, I'm going off topic. It's like the hotels are this pressure cooker almost of all of these characters' struggles and it being magnified, and they're all pushed to their limit and they're already vulnerable, but Jack's the most vulnerable. And this delves into fatherhood and manhood in ways that I haven't read about. And they're not really like stories that I go for necessarily, but it's that. A father, a son, even Wendy and her issues with her mother, but more so fatherhood, I feel like, and the ways in which fatherhood and being a husband and being a man and a man's role in a family, and the way they fall. I'm almost done, so hopefully by tonight I can give you guys a final thought once I'm finished with the book. Anyway, I have to head out, start the day, but I'll catch up with y'all later today. Oh, also, I want to talk about my outfit. I got this jacket last year. I don't have many opportunities to wear it, but love it structurally. I got it on eBay. It's vintage Ralph Lauren, and it has these really cool frog closures. And these earrings, too, I got from when I was traveling in Spain. We went to Sevilla, and they have a store there called Lina Sevilla that specializes in Andalusian clothing, jewelry, etc. Loved these. I also bought a flower brooch that sometimes I wear. Yeah. I'm going to take my son to daycare. Bye. I'm back from work, and usually after work, I decompress with a cold Diet Coke and something salty and spicy like this popcorn and these addictive Trader Joe's style Takis. He's back from daycare. He had a full day running around. Anything to say? Okay. I promised to give you my final thoughts because I did manage to finish this book. Here are my final thoughts on the book overall. Stephen King is sort of grappling with issues of paternalism and the violence around paternalism as the man of the house and keeping order, and his word is the final word when it comes to Jack being possessed by the Overlook. We also see Halloran come in, and we get his perspective as well. Just interesting because he's a black man, and Stephen King is bringing up issues of racism, and the Overlook is really racist, and it comes through. Which also kind of, you see that in the movie, but in the movie you also get references to the indigenous genocide. And they're in Colorado, so specifically like the Southwest and that history. I love the textiles in the movie. The part that really gets me the most is Danny's role in this whole violent catastrophe, because he's only 5 years old and his dad's trying to kill him and his mom. Well, not his dad, but his dad falls victim to the Overlook, who plays into his vulnerabilities around not being successful, his addiction, his past with his own father against him. The ending here is really different from the movie. I reference the movie a lot because that's how I first came across this story. I'm not putting down the book, but if you gave me if you told me which one you like more, the book or the movie, I definitely like the movie more. There's more ambiguity in the movie, and it leaves you trying to fill in holes that the book doesn't do that. It's very much it tells more than it shows, like this book, Stephen King. And the movie is more, it shows versus telling, if that makes sense. Movie shows more, book tells more. Okay. Also, the movie's cooler. It's just a cooler storytelling. I don't know how to describe, but Stephen King's language is it takes me out. It's kind of outdated sometimes. Like, there's little cliches, especially when you're referencing like women and women's bodies. It's falling into male cliches that I feel like he should just stay in his lane. He kind of should just not even touch those type of things. It just doesn't come off like he thinks it does. It's a little, I don't know, I want to say dorky. A fun thing I remembered in this book, there's a reference to Shirley Jackson because Stephen King was really inspired by her. The Haunting of Hill House greatly inspired The Shining, this haunted, evil place that terrorizes and psychologically breaks down its characters. He's sort of in conversation to those themes that Shirley Jackson really developed. Also, I want to say Stephen King didn't care for the movie. Probably because it did change a lot, especially towards the end, and it missed all of this background information that you get of the characters. The Shining and It are interconnected. Halloran is one of the characters that comes out in both, and then Danny's saying it a lot here, like, you're it, you're the thing, or whatever. It's a similar spirit or connection to an evil force that you'll see in the other story, and I want to read that one. I haven't read it, but I'm gonna try to. Okay, my next book, I want to read something a little more lighthearted. I've been reading horror books. The end where they were freezing, I was like, and he said, Halloran told Danny, I'm gonna take you somewhere warm. I felt that. I started this book in Canada right before Christmas, and it was so cold. Like, the most bone-chilling, dark, windy, freezing, snowing cold. I couldn't think of anything else but the fact that I was cold. So I felt cold. So yeah, if you want to feel the winter, good seasonal read. I also got this fun package in the mail. It's a bag. Oh, it's cuter than I expected. It's so cute. I've been wanting a bag that's this color, like this turquoisey teal color. I love wearing color, and this one is so fun to like add to outfits as a pop of color. My phone doesn't even fit in this bag, but it's not for that. It's for the whimsy of it all. I kind of want to read something a little a little more optimistic. I hope you enjoy the little B-roll I did in the beginning of the video. I wanted to show you my desk where I'm sitting at right now, because and this is kind of like my filming location right now, and I love sitting here. But this desk is from an antique store. We bought it like 2.5 years ago, or 2 years ago, and it's from a convent. It belonged to a nun, and it's one of those like what do you call them? Like it's one of those sort of secretary desks, and that you can close the top. But it was small, and it fits really well here. And I changed the knobs to these little sleeping foxes, and I got this little stool on Facebook Marketplace. My husband cut the legs so it could fit, because it's kind of a short desk. And I upholstered it with this fun little hair, like these little jumping hair. Is that how you say it? They're like wild bunnies. They're more than a bunny. They're more intense. And I have my little Artemis sculpture. Love her. And my Tiffany lamp. Anyway, I'll keep y'all updated on my next book. Everyone chooses resilience and joy despite the horror of life.